Oh, so horny.
You start off like that.
All right.
Steve, don't.
It's in Spanish anyways. Mike, how the hell are you?
Hanging on by a thread.
I hate to sound like a broken frickin' record, but last time we were in this seat together, I feel like I was talking to you about the same darn thing. You just attended, correct me if I'm wrong, 4 Post Malone shows back to back to back to back
Yeah.
in both Anaheim and Los Angeles, right? I mean, I lived vicariously through you. I watched the stories on Instagram, but why don't you just give us a little highlight reel?
I mean, it's like too much to go. Too much. Post is at like a level where it's like, I mean, getting around them is just like hilarious because there's just so many people coming around and, you know, they're paying respect, but also just want to come check it out and be around them and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a cool vantage point for me to just be, you know, be there and be hanging out. Fucking Billy Idol's walking in, saying what's up to him.
You say Billy Idol?
Yep.
I love Billy.
Throws him in the corner. Billy, you want a beer? No? All right. Standing in the corner. Fucking Ozzy, the Osbourne family comes in, plays beer pong. They're fucking hanging out after the show. It's crazy. Ozzy's like one of those dudes you get around him and you're like, holy shit.
You feel the aura.
Yeah.
I read his book, honestly.
I was slightly intimidated by him, to be honest.
Yeah, I recommend. A lot of people probably don't know Ozzy Osbourne that well, other than the reality TV show he was on, which even then was a long time ago. I recommend reading the book. It's called Ozzy. He has a remarkable life. Just everything he's been through, starting with the band Black Sabbath, and then later going on to a solo career, and then becoming a reality TV star.
Yeah, he's a legend.
But let's start from the jump, because I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen Post live, and you get to see it from a very cool vantage point. How's the show?
It's really good, man. He's so good. He's just like the real deal, you know? You go to the show and you leave. I mean, I've seen the show a bunch because, you know, I went out on tour and the studio bus. When was that when I went out there originally? When they had the studio bus and we were working? It was like Toronto. 1 month ago? I don't even know. I really don't like my clock. My internal clock is fucking backwards.
About a week ago? I don't know.
Yeah, it was like a month or so ago. But yeah, in the last like 6 weeks, I've probably seen like 10 shows, and each time it's just like equally inspiring and powerful. Like when you get in the music and the flow of the music and the energy of the room, it's wild. Like every time I found myself like, yo, this is hard, you know? Yeah, I'd seen it at one point, you know, 4 nights in 1 week.
Yep.
And I'm still saying that, you know? So
it's a good
anyone
show.
who's never gone, I mean, everyone's going. It's just selling like fucking zillion tickets, but
yeah,
yeah, you got to go. It's really great.
And then following these shows, I mean, I had to find out through TMZ, unfortunately.
That's the real show.
I had to find out through TMZ, but I found an interesting article on TMZ, and it showed Post winning a $50,000 game of beer pong.
Sure did.
Were you the teammate there?
I carried his ass. No. Me and Post offset each other really well, but we are the undisputed champs. And it's not because we're always just always hitting the shots. We just muster up the wins. I think there's a decent amount of intimidation. So say maybe I hit more cups. People are like intimidated by they're getting a shot to play Post. I mean, obviously they're all friends, but like there's a high pressure situation, and it's mainly because Post.
Yeah, I get it.
So it's like one of those intangibles, not in the stat sheet, but he plays great defense with his aura. You know. And
now there's a new title. There's a new title branded.
The Ballina Cup.
Yeah, who came up with the Ballina Cup?
So it was around 10 a.m. We're on like Hollywood Boulevard. Hadn't slept. Already played 1,000 games of beer pong. We're at Mel's. It was like 9 a.m. and we were just wasted, fucking eating mozzarella sticks at 9 a.m. at Mel's. And he's like, we're smoking outside. He's like, yo, we should just go. Like, we're trying to figure out what to do. And he's like, let's go to Hooters. I was like,
at what time again?
It was like 8:30. Yeah, it was like 8:30.
8:30 a.m.
Yeah, let's go to Hooters. So we're like, nah, it's not open. We check. And I'm like, I guarantee if you call Hooters right now, there's probably someone there. You tell them Post Malone wants to come in and play beer pong. They're gonna say yes.
That's probably the greatest thing about being famous. is
Yeah, you get to do whatever the hell you want.
accessibility. I would love to go to a Hooters at 8:30 a.m. It sounds incredible.
Yeah, it's magical. Great toss. It's magical. It's a magical power of being famous.
And
There's a lot of that sucks about it.
True, but this is the Hooters right in like Hollywood Boulevard in like the center of fucking Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's the most publicized Hooters in all of Los Angeles.
Yeah. What was your point? Where was I going with this? You asked me, what was your question? Do you remember?
I mean, I always wanted the story.
You just wanted the story?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're playing at Hooters. Bro, like this dude has a $1 zillion fucking spot he's hanging out just in LA, like just for the week.
Yeah.
Because he's here, for shows and shit. Like the most beautiful view outside. He wanted to go to Hooters. We're standing upstairs, a double-decker Hooters on Hollywood Boulevard. Just no one there. Literally us and a shitty little beer pong table and like
Obviously no one's
6
there.
people. No, like it wasn't like we came with like 100 people. It was like 8 people, like 10 people, like
So
2 girls, 3 girls.
How'd you get in that hour? You just called?
We called and they answered. We're like, and they thought we were lying. And we're like, what the fuck would we get out of it? Why would we do this? Come over there and then when you're not going to open it when Post isn't there.
So what was their like reaction when they saw him?
They were cool, man. Shout out Mike over there. Mike was the man.
Shout out Mike and Hooters.
They started the kitchen early for us. Got some wings rolling around. Versace, when did we leave? We were there for like 4 hours. We played 4 hours of beer pong upstairs at Hooters with no one around. Like I thought we were gonna last like 30 minutes there when we walked in. We were there for like 4 hours.
Just for the atmosphere.
And we walked. Oh yeah, we walked by TMZ.
I saw that.
On the way to Hollywood, and then that's a funny. Like TMZ like reposted it like
Post Malone came by the studio.
Yeah, but TMZ offices were closed.
huh?
That sounds pretty close.
It was pretty close.
Post Malone.
But yeah, and then yeah, man, we didn't even stop then. We stayed up all fucking day.
But then when did the trophy thing happen?
Oh, that's where we're going. All right, so then after beer, like we literally won like 30 games of beer pong in the span of like from after his show ended at 3 different venues. Like we played at the arena, we played somewhere afterwards, and then we played at Hooters, and we're like, yo, we're the beer pong champions of the world, right? We have to be. And from there, we just ran with it. Foley, we had a logistical guy. Foley didn't go out. He lives off Hollywood Boulevard. Sees my video. He's like, yeah, I just woke up. You guys over there? I'm like, yeah. He pulls up. Starts drinking at 8 a.m. with us.
Fucking degenerate.
But because he was there,
I would have done it too.
that's how the trophy got done, because like I wouldn't have been able to connect the dots on this one. He was like calling places, seeing if they were open, telling them the story.
A trophy store at 10 a.m.
Yeah, so we find this obscure trophy store. We hop in a fucking car. We go over there. We're like, yeah, we're walking around, and we find this one trophy. It's like perfect. It's a ball and a cup is the top of the trophy. So that's what the Ballina Cup is.
Therefore, the name.
Ball and a cup.
Ballina Cup.
It's
Ball
the
in a
Stevie
cup.
Daniels Ballina Cup.
Oh, because it's
But it reads ball
ball
in a cup.
in a cup.
It's our version of the Catalina wine mixer.
Or the Shiva
What's the Shiva?
from the show The League.
I don't watch the league.
Anyways, their trophy for their fantasy football league was called
Yeah,
the
it's the
Shiva.
exact same
This
thing.
is the Ballina.
Yeah, everyone listen, you guys can create your own Ballina. We can franchise this idea. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
guys have your own Ballina cups.
And you got a belt made too, a wrestling belt.
Yeah, we had to get the Ballina belt as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, we were there. We're just perusing around, designing it, creatively directing our fucking trophy, and then we saw the belt, so we made a matching belt too.
Where do these bad boys lie right now?
They're at Post House.
Okay.
It could be here, but they're at Post House.
All right. Well,
We're on the same team.
we should share custody at some point, probably.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna wear the loss on this one. He should be the owner of it, because think about it, or maybe I should have the belt, one on one. I can't. He's got like so many security guards that can like carry that fucking thing around. Oh, we got a chain too, didn't we? We got a chain. We got a big ass the turnover chain that Miami football uses. It's huge.
Yeah.
We got a chain made as well. That's being made still, I believe. You're picking it up on Monday.
We'll have that at the house.
So obviously, if you guys have ever, people listening are fans of us, we always take jokes and just make them real things and take them obnoxiously far. Post has that same humor. So
Thank God.
we're hoisting the fucking belt all around. Like, he's such a clown, but he's the best, man.
Well, that's good.
Personally, I need like a hiatus, not from Post, just from the fucking goddamn beer pong. Bud Light, an amazing beverage.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna have a Bud Light for 3 to 5 business days.
All right.
Just can't.
I'll drink those.
I'm gonna look at them though. They make me feel good. They make me feel comfortable. I'm gonna stare at them, but I'm not gonna drink them.
They do look nice. A lot of people can't see this. I'm actually drinking 3 different brands of seltzers right now. I got White Claw.
Are you just waiting for one of them to hit us up? Oh, Nude. So Nude's Mully's company.
Oh, Nude. Shout out Molly. Thank you for the nudes,
So
bro.
you're a straight seltzer guy,
And
huh?
then we got Trulies. Ain't no rulies against the Trulies. Ain't no laws against the claws.
Oh, dude, you just posted a picture.
Ain't no snoozing on the nudes. I don't know what.
Shout out Mully. I just opened my Instagram. Versace posted a picture with the chain.
It's everything.
Oh, what are these pictures from?
That's the day. That day.
Disposable?
Everyone's phones died. So all.
The camera, if you can zoom in. This is the chain. There's a picture of the chain. I'm covering it, but that's it. Look how big it is.
It's a big fucking chain. I don't even want to know what the bill was over there at the trophy store.
Dude,
Wasn't that bad?
Really?
only like 900 for
Wow.
That's not too
It's a
bad.
steal.
So speaking of arena shows, I just caught wind. There was an announcement. Think of the greatest arena show that I would go to.
One
Do you think
Direction?
second best. Steel Panther. No, Steel Panther. They don't do arenas.
For you?
For me.
Jonas Brothers.
No, they already did it. They already did their thing. Go the other direction. Go the other way.
Rock.
Yeah.
Motley Crue.
Yes, and okay, you're not gonna get the rest. But Motley Crue, they claim they went on their farewell tour in 2014. They all signed a contract with each other saying we're never gonna tour again unless we all agree and we tear this contract up. Well, guess what, kids? They tore the contract up.
That's fire.
They're doing an arena tour, but not just them. They're doing it with Def Leppard and with Poison. Talk about a fucking lineup, bruh.
You're gonna wear the mascara that night? You have to, right?
Eyeliner, actually. And
Whatever it is.
And just for context, I've been seeing Def Leppard and Poison. They've been touring with each other for a minute. I've probably seen them like 2 or 3 times in the past. Every single time, we fucking throw on the eyeliner, get really dope seats.
Honestly, Post will probably like go hang out with him.
Yeah, I know he like chills with like Tommy Lee and shit.
He'd probably go.
So fucking super jealous.
Maybe I could sneak in the entourage that night. 'Cause
be-
I don't give a shit.
I'd be forever
Not that I don't
grateful.
give a shit. I just I don't really like.
I'd be
listening to
so
that.
grateful. Like I got Motley Crue's second album in my fucking record player right now. I get ready to do it. I get ready to do it.
We're gonna have to sub you in. I'll call you in off the bench for that one.
That's anyways. I'm super psyched for that tour. They're going to be doing it next year. Tickets aren't on sale yet. I might as well just be the promoter for that whole tour. And a lot of people caught wind of Motley Crue now because of the movie that just came on Netflix,
Yep.
The Dirt. And to back up even further, I know the Studmeister has his own little book club.
Yeah.
He like the Studmeister book club. They
Yeah.
love 7 Spiritual Laws. They love.
I got more. A lot of people have been DMing me like,
Yeah.
yo, we need more books.
You love Think and Grow Rich. I love it too. I'm reading it right now. But the filmer's got his own book club as well.
He does.
And besides Mexican Playboys,
It is Mexican.
it's all
Espanol.
it's all in Spanish. I can't
Just
read
the
it.
way I like it.
I read it for the articles, I swear. Besides the Playboys, I have a book club of my own. Number 1 on that is The Dirt, which they based the movie off of, which is written by Motley Crue. It's a rock and roll autobiography, which is my favorite genre of books. I'll tell you this. If you've seen the movie and you haven't read the book, which is probably most people's scenarios, you're fucking up big time.
Yeah, you were saying that the book was
The
a
book
lot
is
better.
hands down the greatest book ever written. I don't
Wow.
care. I don't care what anyone says. It's for us. It's the most real. You're gonna read it and be like, "Wow, this is pretty fucking relatable."
Yeah, for sure.
The only thing that differs is the heroin. We never really got into the
I
heroin.
haven't got into that.
Hey, we so long life, baby.
It's a long life. I'm open to anything, guys. I'm kidding.
There's a lot of room-
Kids are gonna be listening, and be like, all right, let's try it.
No,
Don't do it, guys.
Heroin's whack.
Print the T-shirt.
Drink White Claws. Heroin's whack. But it's very relatable otherwise. I gotta say, and if I haven't convinced you to read the book yet, I will read you. This is how someone convinced me to read the book. And before I read this book, I don't think I read one book in maybe 12 years. And that's counting college.
Really?
Yeah. They read me the first paragraph.
years.
They read me the first paragraph of The Dirt by Motley Crue, and from then on, I was hooked.
Are you gonna narrate it for us?
I'm gonna read you the first paragraph of The Dirt.
Everyone listening, close your eyes.
Just close your eyes and try to imagine this.
Unless you're driving.
So the beauty of this book is that every chapter is written in different sections by different band members. So
Okay.
you get 4 different perspectives for every chapter. This is from the perspective of the lead singer Vince Neil. He opens the book by saying, "Her name was Bullwinkle. We called her that because she had a face like a moose. But even Tommy, even though he could get any girl he wanted on the Sunset Strip, would not break up with her. He loved her and wanted to marry her, he kept telling us, because she could spray her cum across the room."
Yep.
Scene. First paragraph of the book.
That's how you lock John Kilmer in for the full novel.
She could spray her cum across the room. Page 1, paragraph 1.
I love that start. Such an aggressive start.
She could spray her cum across the room.
It is a great talent.
Are you not hooked?
I'm hooked.
Don't you want to know more?
Yeah, I do.
She had a face like a moose and could spray her cum across the
That
room.
reminds me of Squarehead. Remember Squarehead?
Could Squarehead spray her cum across the room?
No.
No, she just had the nickname Squarehead because she had a square head.
But she was great in sax.
Shout out Squarehead.
She doesn't even know who she is, but she's a fucking warrior. She's making some guy real happy somewhere. She did have a square head though. Literally the shape of a square. She was kind of hot though. It was weird.
Squarehead resurfaces every like 2-3 years.
Yeah, she always does.
I fucking love it. I mean, I
kinda miss her.
in our conversation, not physically.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
our conversation.
I miss her in her physical form as well. She's with us in spirit, mind, body, and spirit.
So go read The Dirt, and it's
Yeah.
a fantastic read. If you've seen the movie's literally like a B- version. Have you seen the movie, Mike?
Yes.
It's good, but it's a B- version.
Yeah.
It's a little corny. The movie's a little corny compared to the actual events.
Yeah, I think you go that all the way like aggressive, like the book.
Yeah, it should have been like an HBO series.
would've been a fire,
It should have
yeah.
been like an 8-part series on HBO. They should have fucking not left out a thing.
I'm pretty sure they start the movie with her spraying cum.
She does
Someone-
spray cum in the
someone
movie.
spraying
I'll
cum
give them
across
that.
the room.
That's why it's a B-, not a C+, because she does in fact spray cum in the first scene in the movie. I'll give them that. But I don't know.
That's an automatic point.
Yeah, that goes up in my rating a little bit on Rotten Tomatoes. But they did leave out a lot of things. They did have a really funny story where they were kind of like, and mind you, when they blew up, they were all like 20, 21 years old.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, dude, that's another thing. If we were doing this, we were starting out then.
Yeah.
If we were like rocks, well, I'm not even mainstream famous now,
Mm-hmm.
really. You know what I mean? So it's like, we can't even relate. What I'm saying is like, I don't know how the fuck we would have been acting.
It's
if
not
we were
even just the
21
fame though, because
playing arenas. Like,
we did the whole rock star thing. It's not just the fame thing; it's the money thing because the money gives you access.
oh, that's what I mean. Like, there's a whole other
They were instantly millionaires when they were 21 years
layer.
old.
By the time I was getting real money, it was like I was, mature. I was 25.
Yeah.
26. It's way different than 21.
Yeah.
I'm way different than I was last year. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
So to imagine, if we had millions of dollars coming in and we were fucking playing arenas. I mean, we were playing the 300-person show and it fucking felt like arenas to us because, like, all these bitches just wanted to cock and balls.
Speaking of that, my favorite story that did not make
We didn't know
the
how to
movie-
react.
My
a
favorite
group.
my favorite story from the Motley Crue book, it did not make the movie, was they were just starting out, maybe their first tour. They were running out of things to do with chicks.
Yeah.
They were running out of things to do. So they're in a hotel room with a couple girls.
That's how you end up on heroin, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, you run out of shit to do
a lot
too
of
early.
a lot of
you're
them
like,
had
fuck.
a lot of them had broken pasts and like some pretty heavy childhoods.
No, I know, but I'm
But-
saying like that's why child stars. Not to cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Think about why child stars always end up fucked
Looking-
up.
looking for a new
because
thrill.
when you get to a level of, fame or attention and money, then it's like, one, that lifestyle breeds all that craziness and the drugs and the girls want to fuck you everywhere and do all this shit. You know what I mean?
Yep, tight.
So if you run at like it's tight, but then if you do that for fucking if you're a human, you keep doing the same shit over and over and over again, it gets dry. It doesn't
Well-
matter if you're fucking going and working at CVS or you're
Yep.
fucking Pamela Anderson. Like you get sick of it.
Shout out Pamela Anderson.
You know what I mean? Like so, yeah. That's why you keep.
It's
That's
a little
why
monotonous.
you got it. But you got to. That's like when we talk about growth on this shit a lot, that's what it's about. Because, and it could be growing, and it might be, you might be making way less money doing something, but you've changed your scenery. You're inspired to be alive. You're inspired to wake up every day.
Yep.
And now, like we talk about getting second and third wins of life and these new tiers of things. Like, that's what it's about. But that's what happens. Even when you get, no matter what level you get to, is what I'm trying to say, is like, you get to your dream life, even that, if you stay stagnant in that dream life, it can get really messy really fast, you know what I mean? And it becomes unfulfilling, and then then it gets scary because you're unfulfilled with you thought this was the best. How am I unfulfilled?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's where it gets really tricky. So you have to constantly be able to, like, hey, what do I want to do next? It's always that pivot that we talk about. Sorry to.
And the key is just don't do heroin.
Yeah. But
Never ends well.
Yeah, and like
Ever.
for these guys, like, to be fair, they're rock stars, so they go on tour. That's what they do. You go on tour, and
it was the 80s.
Yeah, and
You know?
you do drugs. You're rock stars, and all the girls do drugs, and that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you do the same fucking drugs for 2 years, whatever.
Yeah.
And then this guy has this new shit, and you're like, fuck it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because you're like, I need something else. That's what happens.
That is what happens. I really want to tell the story because it's fantastic.
Sorry to cut you off.
That was an important side pivot. It's okay. I'm going to bring us right back. So they're running out of shit to do with these women, and they're in the hotel room with them, and they're like, what can we do with them? So they decide to take the cordless phone from the hotel, shove it up one of their pussies, and then call her. Then they made her call her mother while the phone was in her pussy and talk to her mom while the phone was in her own pussy.
He just kept saying pussy.
Pussy.
I hate that word.
Pussy.
Yeah, you're a fucking wild motherfucker.
That's fucked up though. It's pretty intense. It's kind of
See,
fucked
that's
up.
that's not even in my realm.
I would
like,
I would never get my rock.
But I'm
star
just
on it.
I get it. People are different. I'm not into like weird shit really. Like,
But who's to say if you weren't 21 you wouldn't be that fucked up either?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was kind of how I started that whole monologue. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I can't relate to these guys. Like, you can't take the high road and say, oh, like, I don't do hair. Like, these motherfuckers were rock star famous at 21.
And the majority of them started out with like nothing.
Exactly.
Not even good families. And then they were like, all right, you're in a band, you're signed, you're all
Another thing
millionaires.
we can't relate to, like
Yeah.
another thing that makes you want to, go down those paths sometimes. It's pain.
And speaking of Ozzy Osbourne, the only guy they said that was crazier than them was Ozzy Osbourne.
I know.
They opened for an Ozzy Osbourne tour in the 80s, and this motherfucker, Ozzy Osbourne,
He's the craziest.
They were all sitting by a pool one day, and Ozzy's like, I'm just going to take a piss in front of everyone. And then he got on his knees, and he started licking his own piss.
Yeah. You got to be pretty high to do shit like that.
Right after he snorted a line of ants on the ground.
Yeah.
Those two events happened back to back. And then,
It's true.
And then Nicky Sixx, the bassist of Motley Crue, is like, fuck that, man. I'm not going to back down. I'm the craziest motherfucker in this game. So he started pissing on the ground because he was about to lick his own piss up. And Ozzy's like, nah. And then Ozzy got down and started licking his piss too.
Wow.
In front of everyone in public, in a public pool at a hotel.
Wow.
So Ozzy's the GOAT. Read both those books.
Yeah, that makes you the GOAT. You're the best.
Dude,
Dude, this guy
Fucking
was
GOAT, bro.
licking other guys' pee off the ground. This guy's the GOAT.
this is just in the rock star world.
Yeah, nah.
The
Yeah,
bubble-
see, all that, like, This motherfucker, he's the Prince of Darkness. That's what you do. You do shit like this.
I'm fascinated with the rock star lifestyle.
Yeah, man, I actually, like, I was, like, from me to you with him.
Yeah, man. He probably wasn't there.
At one point, not because he didn't come in the room, come around people. He could barely walk, bro. I was actually going to grab another drink because I knew it was coming out. They were coming out. So I'm backstage and I'm going to grab a drink. And I turned the corner. It's like a maze back there. I turned the corner right there.
Ozzy.
Yeah. And like they're walking, but like shout out Andrew Watt. He's an amazing guitar player. I've known for like 6-7 years out here.
Shout out Andrew Watt.
Super talented. Like if he was like, in a different era, like in the rock and roll era, he would be like mega famous.
For
This dude's
sure.
an incredible.
I've
He
seen-
writes hits.
I've seen him perform live too.
He writes hits for
Yeah.
like Post, a bunch of people. Like he writes hits for tons of people, like tons of pop songs that everyone knows. He's written.
And he's a wild motherfucker. The first time I met him was at Electric Field Studios right down on Sunset, and he came into the boardroom with his pants at his ankles and his dick tucked in his legs like a little vagina.
Yep.
And he did like a whole like hello.
Yeah. He's
all right. This guy's cool.
And these motherfuckers, the artsy guys, they're pretty wild. He's a real artsy motherfucker. Like he's got like. He's very tasteful, got a lot of fucking friends in high place. Like, you know what I mean? He's just a wild motherfucker. But he can super talented.
And wail on the guitar. He can wail on the guitar.
Yeah, he's the one that came out and played the guitar with Ozzy at Post Show.
Yeah.
My point is, he's like, yo, I haven't seen him yet. So he stops me, and Ozzy's right there. Like, you're Ozzy, Andrew Watt. And he's like right here, just kind of like looking at me. You know what I mean?
Shit, man.
And I was definitely intimidated.
I'm just green with jealous rage right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's sick. I want to turn gears for a moment. Pun intended, because I know you love Elon Musk. You got a dude boner for him. Mm-hmm. That's fine. They just released the Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the fucking trenches. I haven't really
You haven't really looked into it?
Well, all I've seen is like, I've seen the look. Mm-hmm. I had no idea there was any type of thing being released. So I just, in my drunken stupor of the last week, like stumbled upon it. Mm-hmm. The sober me would be like, oh, let's look into this more. I did see that like they were doing a test for the windows.
Yeah, I looked into it a little more.
They threw a steel ball and it broke. It wasn't supposed to break the windows, but it did, right? In a live demonstration.
Yeah, so
I don't know how that happens.
First of all, I'm fucking mind blown that I know more about the Elon Musk Cybertruck. I know more than you do. I'm caught off guard. I was expecting you to have a whole thesis on it, but it's okay. Luckily, I watched the unveiling with Elon Musk of the Cybertruck.
Yep.
It's kind of like when they announced like a new Steve Jobs used to announce the new iPhone, and they'd have a whole crowd, and there's like a big screen behind him, and he'd talk about the logistics and stuff and the specifications. I'm not gonna lie, Elon Musk kind of he did it up big. The whole event was very well run, very tasteful. It was like a fucking club in there. It looked like Swedish House Mafia in 2011.
Elon Musk is they're doing fucking cool shit, bro.
Yeah, so the whole event was very well done. I watched the whole thing. The part you're talking about is they claim that the whole siding of the truck is made out of like steel.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like reinforced steel. It's like fucking reinforced steel. And the windows are supposed to be like, I don't know, some reinforced windows.
You can't penetrate it.
So the first thing they did is they took a sledgehammer and they fucking whacked the doors, like the metal part of the doors. Didn't fucking make a scratch, which is pretty fucking impressive.
That's tight.
This dude is fucking winding up in front of everyone and just fucking smashing the doors. Didn't make a dent. And then the windows, before they threw the metal ball through the actual window of the car, they're doing like window tests off to the side with like just like a plate glass of window, not attached to the car, just like a little sheet of window. And they were just like dropping metal balls on it from like different heights, all the way up to like, I don't know, like 20, 30 feet high. They were dropping balls and it would fall on the glass and like it would just bounce off. And then Elon was like, hey, why don't we throw one at the car? And his assistant's like, okay, you sure? He's like, yeah. So he took the ball and he threw it like a baseball, a steel ball right at the window, and it just fucking cracked. And they're like, Elon's like, oh shit, maybe we should try again on the back window. They do it again. The back window obviously smashes too. So Elon's like,
part of me kind of fucking likes that he's ready to just fucking put it all on the line.
a lot of people think it was a publicity stunt. I don't think it was. It's hilarious though.
Yeah,
if you watch it.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
And Elon was not even like the little bit. Like, he wasn't phased at all. He was fucking thought it was hysterical. He's like, oh, we'll fix it.
I like that guy, man. I like him a lot.
But there's a lot of cool things about the car. It's more. They claim that it's more powerful than an F Ford 150. It's faster than a Porsche. And I don't know how true that is. They did videos of it, side-by-side comparisons. They did a tug-of-war with a Ford F-150, where the two cars were attached to each other, driving opposite directions. It was fucking tugging the Ford F-150, which is supposed to be a big deal truck. And then the Porsche, they just did a fucking drag race down like a long road, and it just fucking blew right past it, even giving the Porsche a head start. I don't know how true that is, but that's what they claim.
It's fucking nuts.
And it starts at $40,000 for the car.
I'm telling you, bro, Elon Musk is going to change
100%,
He's changing the status.
Yeah,
quo.
100% electric. It can fucking off-road. It can hold.
I'm definitely getting one of those.
Like almost 200 pre-orders on it.
200 pre-orders. Yeah.
200,000
200,000 pre-orders. Yeah, I mean the price is right. The most expensive one fully loaded is like 80 grand, but even with that considering, it's like the car of the future. It looks a little wacky. But I think it's cool.
I need one of those.
I think it's cool.
Like, it's not like an everyday car, obviously, but like it's such a funny thing to have. It's be like, yo, we could drive out to the desert and just go fuck around. You know? It's like a fuck around car.
And this is probably the wrong thing to say, but kind of the ultimate drunk driving car. Leave the bar, like you could.
Yeah, but destroy everything in your path. He's like, hey, you know what? We can endanger society, but we'll be safe in here. We're good. Hey guys, watch how fast we can go.
Don't endanger others. I'm just saying.
Hey, we can race a Porsche.
If you wrap around a fucking telephone pole, you're probably gonna be cool because the fucking sledgehammer won't penetrate the doors. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but definitely penetrate other human beings, which might be a little worse. Yeah, we can cut this out. How many seltzers do you have today?
I'm like 1.5 in.
You got no excuse, John.
I thought you were gonna have more to say about the Tesla truck, but it's okay. That's
I mean,
fine.
yeah, no, I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm not a huge car guy, so even if I wasn't drunk, I wouldn't have cared that much. I'd check it out, but I didn't really even check it out. I just saw a few clips.
I just love that Elon's like taking that step as like an inventor.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really cool. I think it's really dope they're doing the presentations like that. That was what I was gonna say. Like,
Yeah.
it gives you he's like the new Steve Jobs, bro. He's like, it's in a new space, but it's like the same ideas and like the same vibe, you know? So it's like,
Yeah.
that was what my first reaction. I was like, it's dope. They're kind of how they're branding Tesla, and like, I could see Tesla being the biggest thing.
It already is huge. It's
Yeah,
massive.
it is.
Yeah,
But like,
Tesla's
I'm
huge.
talking like Apple mainstream. Like, no one's not gonna have a Tesla product. Like,
Yeah.
give it 10 years, everyone's like the Tesla logo will be. You'll see it all over like Apple.
Yeah, he's like a modern day Thomas Edison.
Yeah, he is. I mean, people
Very wild.
love to find people. You know, people. It's hard for everyone to praise other people and do it 100% out of just good intent and praise. But like, people don't appreciate shit until they're gone. You know, like. But he's one of those dudes that like, I feel like he's severely underappreciated from a societal standpoint right now. Mm-hmm. But I think that will change.
Yeah, no, I feel like he's hitting his cusp.
Yes.
Like he's about to go off.
Yeah, and like he is, and he's so young, dude. He's gonna do this for another 40 years. Like,
I know.
I'm telling you, bro, he's gonna go down in history.
Yeah, he already is going down in history.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm talking like big boy level, like the biggest, brightest, you know?
Mm-hmm. So since you've been out of the news, you probably don't know this either, but I think your prayers have been answered because I know you've been talking about like the sports seasons being too long, especially in baseball. But the NBA announced that they may shorten the season.
Yeah, the NBA is with the shits. That's
NBA is with the shit.
The
And
branding is the brand itself is thriving. I mean, it's about the players, but they're marketing them really well.
Yeah.
They're marketing the games
do you
really
know
well.
like everything they're planning on doing besides the shorter season?
No.
They have like a couple bullet points. So one is like a 78 game season, which now it's what, 82 or something like that?
So they cut 4 games?
No, it's they're cutting like 10.
10
I think it's like 70. I think they're cutting like 10 games, and then they want to reseed the way the playoffs work. So
I did see this
so
headline.
now like technically the 2 top teams can face each other in the finals, even if they're in the same conference. Which I think that's smart.
I
think it's incredible.
You know what?
That's
this
great.
This is just like their ability to adapt. Like
They
the
have to.
MLB is stuck.
Yeah.
It's like you know what I mean? Like, bro, that's looking at the data, looking at the fucking situation. Hey, the West is so much better than the East. Why are the best 2 teams going to fucking not even play for all the marbles? Because
Exactly.
every year, although Toronto won last year, but it's just like the West has been so much better. And then as the teams are evolving, I mean, I think it's fair to say. I know the teams changed a lot. Like the Nets have a shot, kinda. The Celtics are playing really well, but the West is overwhelmingly better, I think. So I think that's just like the NBA being adaptable, being like, hey, yeah, man,
Yeah, as it should be. And there's a third thing that they want to do is like, and then either in the middle of the season or before the playoffs, they want to do like a whole league tournament, like a whole league tournament.
What does that mean?
Where like, Someone like, I don't watch soccer, but someone like kind of related it to like what they do in soccer.
Interesting.
And it's like a way to like get like your like farm league. They call it farm league in basketball, like G League guys.
Yeah.
It's a way to get like their G League guys like just like a chance to play where like it doesn't really count for anything, but it's just a fucking tournament.
I like that.
Just for shits and kicks, and I don't think it really counts for anything, but just to have like a tournament amongst all the teams before the playoffs start.
I like that.
Which I think is pretty cool. I think that's how I understood it.
Yeah.
And like I was online, like people are kind of like, you know, like back and forth about it. But I think it's like an incredible way to discover talent, especially to televise it.
Yeah.
Because like, when are you going to get a chance to sit and watch like a G League game? Or
Yeah, I just don't. I wonder how many people will really watch.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's an interesting thought. I like the idea.
And
regardless.
I guess
like the notion of
I
it.
guess like what it would do is it would give like the starters like a break before playoffs.
Going into playoffs, yeah.
Because the basketball playoffs fucking go forever. Like,
Yeah.
It's such a long playoff.
Yeah, I mean, basketball is such a hard, like, it's just a lot.
Yeah, it's very strenuous. So it's like a way to break that up and like give them a break and like give the young guys a chance and put them on a bigger
But here,
stage.
there's a theme. The theme to that is preserving guys.
Yeah.
Not overextending their bodies. And getting the best performance out of it. So you do that little idea. Now you got all your best players fucking rested up. They had any little nagging injuries. They're rested up. Now you're going to get the best product. And that's how the brand grows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where baseball, I mean, who's to say how fucking far and fast these guys would be thrown if they were on more of rest, you know?
Oh yeah.
I think the product goes up in value, and then in turn, you know, the monetization that like everyone's worried about, like, oh yeah, well we'll never go for it because you know, it's all about making money and getting people through the door at baseball games. That's why they have so many and the commerce of it. But it's like, actually, if you just bet on the product in the long term, if you improve it and you bet on the game, you know the game, you know, is meant to be a pastime and will never really truly fade. Just have to evolve it so that the product can, you know, stay with the times and keep growing. Which is I think overall in the long term, they'll get, the monetization will even out because the product will be better. The commerce of those games will be better. There won't be any games with no one in the stands, or there'll be a lot less, or, you know, and all that shit. So it's just like, I don't know.
I think if they find success in this with the NBA, other leagues will follow.
Yeah.
They'll follow suit.
Yeah. At some point. I mean, hockey's a very old school sport too. They're very, like, hanging out with Tyler the other week, a few weeks ago in Dallas. I got a pretty good, because his agent was in, shout out Valley. That's my guy. He was in town too. We were just kicking it and talked about it a little bit because I don't know much about hockey overall. And they're saying it's very old fashioned still. They're very, very particular. Like, they're very, you know, they're trying to keep the sport at a certain etiquette level. And like, there's just like these little things and rules. Like the media is very tight. They're very tight on the players' media. Bro, the fucking NHL, I was mind blown. The NHL takes all the fucking merch numbers. All the income.
None of the players get any of it?
No.
Oh my God. I remember we had
part of their contracts.
We had Enzo on the
show.
show.
How fucking crazy is
remember
that?
We had Enzo on the show a couple weeks, a couple months ago, and he said even as a rookie he was getting what, like 2.5% or something.
Yeah.
And he thought he was getting fucked. The NHL players get nothing.
Yeah.
Like, how many fucking Tyler Sagan jerseys are
They
being
were like,
sold?
I mean, bro, one guy I was talking to was like, yeah, the NHL is like the government to the players.
God.
Like, no one really knows this, but it's
I can't believe
like,
that.
yeah, bro, like it's part of their deals.
Ugh.
I couldn't fucking believe it. But the workaround is like what we're doing with For the Homies. We could start a brand for Tyler and he can monetize.
He can do his own
that.
fucking merch. Yeah,
That's safe in the contract. Like, so I mean, those guys are rich, but like t-shirt money and like building a company doesn't necessarily. It's got to be aligned with what they want to do and what they want their
they
brand
can
to be
make
like.
millions that way though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can make
I mean,
millions. selling
you know, make
t-shirts.
$1 million or $2 million over the year. I mean, it really adds up. It adds up, you know.
Wouldn't hit $1 million.
I wouldn't either.
I don't care who you are. How do you feel about the NCAA players finally being able to make money?
Yeah. Another thing.
You're
like,
for it?
The NCAA. Yeah. It's gonna be one of those things. It's gonna be like a learning curve and like figuring out how to do this the right way.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should be. The NCAA is like even worse than the NHL.
Yeah.
Like, they're fucking making billions. And these kids are like hungry and like, not even saying that.
Some of them got nothing.
They got shit. Yeah, like
Some of them
they
got
have food
nothing.
plans on their scholarships and shit, but it's just like, dude, it's limited, man.
They're making your school millions of dollars, and that you're telling me
multi millions.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't be compensated for that. It is wild.
Yeah.
And I get it. You got to be, they're going to have to really work it out. I don't know the answer, but yeah, I think this is kind of the same thing what I was saying about the NBA. I mean, and kind of what you said, like if it works with the NBA, then these other, entities will have to follow suit.
Yep.
And I think this NCAA has been a topic where they've been getting shit on publicly for a while. Like the brand's really plummeted. If nothing else, just in like the word of mouth about the NCAA, like if you go on Twitter and you see like, there'll be like an NCAA commercial and they're like, all the viral tweets are like, shut up and pay the player. Like no one's fucking with them because it's just bullshit.
Now they can make video games, which is fucking sick.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank God.
I wish they had video games when I was playing. I was balling one year. My rating would have been all right. Pretty good. Could have used that for the bucket list, but we'll move on.
Would have had a really high elusiveness score.
Elusiveness in what? In baseball? Yeah, I mean, I was pretty elusive.
I don't know. Online, they're just always freaking out about the elusiveness score. That's more for football, though.
For football, yeah.
I also just saw that. I don't know if he passed him yet, but I don't think Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world anymore.
Really?
I think he just got passed, or he's about to get
By
passed
who?
by. I mean, it's not a crazy answer, but
Warren Buffett?
No, Bill Gates.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably all around the same neighborhood.
They're both hovering around like $107 billion.
I mean, Amazon, you got like everyone's kind of realizing this. Like Amazon's there's some shiesty shit going on, but they're going to be a complete monopoly.
Oh yeah, they already are, but they're going to be.
They
more.
already are, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
to a point where it's like potentially scary. There's actually a lot of trickle down effects of that like there's just a lot of danger. He's very like, I was watching a Joe Rogan thing. I don't really like, not that I'm not informed enough on Jeff Bezos to be like, I don't like the guy. I'm inspired by what he did with the
But we've
company.
heard some things.
Yeah, we just heard a bunch of shit. Like I showed you that video.
Yeah.
Where it was like, he has like an $800 million deal with the CIA where he's like, think about what the CIA is. It's classified information. And he's the guy that has it on the cloud for them. Like, or something like that. Like he's the guy that like stores the data. Some shit. Like I don't want to mess up, but like anyone interested in this, go look up like Jeff Bezos, CIA, like what was that video is also talking about? It's a Joe Rogan video. So say, and
he was talking about how his employees at Amazon, they have like little bracelets that they wear, and it gives them like not a shock that would like hurt them, but it gives them like a little buzz or a shock if they're doing something on the assembly line that's not as efficient as it could be.
Yeah.
So they're literally like training people with like Pavlovian responses if they're doing things wrong on the assembly line.
Totally.
Which is insane.
It's fucked up.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's fucked up, and they're fully monitored, I believe, the employees.
Some girl took a shit in her pants the other day because she was afraid to go to the bathroom.
So an Amazon employee shit her pants the other day because she needs to go to the bathroom, but was scared that she was gonna get in trouble.
Like, dude, that's
they're running like an
absurd.
extremely tight ship. There's something else I'm forgetting in this video that was crazy.
It's absurd.
Oh, he owns. Yeah. So he owns Wall Street Journal or the Washington Post or one of these things.
Yeah.
And doesn't allow any if anyone prints anything negative whatsoever towards Amazon, they're fired. They're not even allowed to.
So you have that about Jeff Bezos. I'm personally fucking team Billy Gates.
Yeah. Bill seems like the man.
Billy is the biggest philanthropist in the world.
I know he is.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has an endowment of over $50 billion.
Yeah.
And he has about half of that of his own money in there.
Yeah, that's wild.
And he literally goes door to door with like every fucking billionaire that he knows and is like, give us your fucking money.
Yeah.
And it's going towards like
You don't need all this. You
yeah, it's
fucking asshole.
literally like fighting poverty. It's like it's going towards educational systems in the United States, and
Yeah.
it's like it's doing like a lot of good.
Look, I think capitalism is an amazing thing.
It's fucking awesome.
And you know, I'm not in no way think like everything should be shared. It would really, in my opinion, would really mess things up.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get to a certain tier of wealth, I mean, dude,
Make a difference in the world.
look, your grandkids don't need this fucking money. You don't even know if your grandkids are gonna exist. They might fucking merge with computers and shit. Like,
Yeah.
you don't. If there's an overwhelming poverty problem and you're a fucking billionaire, you don't need that much money. Like, I get, you know, the chase, and I'm very inspired to make a lot of money, and I think it's an awesome part of being alive. You know, I'm lucky enough to be in that position where I'm able to feel like I can go and do that. You know, at some point, I think everyone should feel that way. What I'm saying is, that's awesome. And that's a reason to get out of bed and what's part of being alive. But getting to a point where it's so much money where like you couldn't spend it if you tried. And you know, you don't and like the idea that you need more and more and more and more is an issue spiritually and like just ideology wise, you know, that I think that's a real problem. And I wonder how when you get to a certain level how you lose sight of the fact that you don't need more, you know, like it's kind of crazy to me.
It is.
So when these guys have that much money, they're definitely wired differently. But see, Bill's the one that, like, you know, like you said, I feel like he's kind of figured it out that it's like.
Dago, were you telling me like his kids only get like $1 million?
When you die, what's that called?
Like inheritance?
When you die, you like write
It will.
A will.
on his will. Only his kids only get 1 million. That's it.
So according to Versace, Billy Gates, his kids only in his will only get $1 million after he dies.
Because, dude,
And he's worth $107 billion.
but dude, that's what life is about.
Yeah, man.
Because he gets that. If he gave them a fucking $1 billion,
Not to say $1 million is bad.
yeah, but $1 million isn't a life, bro.
In
Like,
perspective, no, it's not. Especially
after
these days.
taxes
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
some expenditures, you got
Yeah.
a family. It's not a life.
No, for sure. But like in
It's-
perspective,
it is. Listen, that's not fair to say. It's definitely.
It's a
what
life
I'm
for some
saying
people,
is, what I'm saying is, if you're Bill Gates' kids,
yeah.
you know what I mean. Like, I don't know how they're living, but there's no like $1 million that, you know, even if they were very conservative, how many years, you know, with kids and at whatever, you know, wealth level they're at, which I don't even know. But my point is, Bill clearly gets that they won't have a fulfilled life. They have a lesser chance at a fulfilled life if they just land on $1 billion. You know, like
That's true.
like, what the hell is there? What do you go do besides go fuck off?
I know.
Just go on vacations and shit.
And if you watch Gossip Girl, which I'm doing now for the second time in a row, you'll know that character Chuck Bass, who inherited $1 billion, did not end up so great.
Yeah, they barely do. I mean, I see all these fuckers in LA all over the place, these trust fund babies, you know? And look, there's some dudes, bro, I'm in close business, very, very close. One of them, very important person in my life, you know, comes from, not trust fund, but comes from a very wealthy family. And I respect him almost even more because instead of taking the route of like, fuck it, you know, like he went and did it. He's doing so much business and in different spheres from what his parents, it's not like he just joined the same business and was like, all right, I'll take it over. It's like all different spheres.
Yeah.
And that was almost even, that's why I fuck with him even more.
Yeah.
Because he had every reason to not really go chase it like that.
Yeah. Fuck
Granted, when you got a safety net, it's a lot easier to pull the trigger on decisions and fucking when it really doesn't matter and it's really not life
you can
and death.
take more risks.
I mean, dude, when it's not life and death,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh fuck, if this business doesn't work, I'm fucked and my family's fucked, so I'm not going to do it.
No, it's like I'll be
That's
good.
why a lot of people probably listening or who are all over the world who, you know, have an idea or have this or have that, you know, these things that could come to fruition and be amazing for their lives, but they don't have, there's just that small amount of doubt that stops them from
Because
taking
the
leap.
factor is, what am I willing to sacrifice? And
Yeah.
for most people, it's a lot. I have to sacrifice a lot.
Exactly, yeah.
So that- yeah.
And that's fair because it's also selfless to kind of realized like, hey, it's not really about just me. I got 2 kids, you know what I mean? If I fuck this up,
Yeah.
then they're fucked. And now, we're all, now at least here, yes, I'm unhappy with my job, but I'm happy that I can keep my kids safe or fed or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors,
That's true. That's true. Before we go into our break, I was perusing through your Twitter. I actually saw something very inspiring. It was that story with Mary Cain, who is the Nike runner. And I actually went in and I watched the video, and kind of wild. Do you want to? Do you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Do you want to give because I feel like it'd be good to just bring light of the situation.
Yeah.
For one, and if you could just kind of walk through the story a little bit, I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah. So she was one of the best female athletes in the world, best runner. Not sure what age, but teens, mid-teens. Went to Nike camp, which they have a huge campus, and it's designed to train Olympic athletes.
In Oregon by the headquarters.
Yeah, by the headquarters, yeah. Yeah, and it was just what's the guy's name, do you know? Off the top, you could look it up.
I'll look it up
But there's, run by a lead trainer who's the GOAT, kind of everyone at Nike, and he had free reign, and he's he picked his team, and it was all these guys, and it was a kind of a unbelievable level of
Alberto Salazar.
Alberto Salazar, yeah.
Yeah.
And her name's Mary Cain. You guys should check it out. But essentially, he verbally abused her to the point where basically kept telling her she needed to get skinnier and get skinnier and get skinnier. And her performance went down and down and down and down, along with her overall health. And anyone she approached about it, no one would hear her side. No one would hear. The Salazar, the coach, had zero empathy towards it. Did he physically abuse her?
No.
There was no physical abuse.
It was more brainwashing. It was
would be hey, you're fat, and you're if she didn't.
He's you will run faster if you lose 5 pounds, and she'll have a bad race, and he'll be I can tell you put on 5 pounds before the race. That's why you ran so badly.
Yeah, it was just this really and to the point where she got extremely depressed. She went from very happy and very successful on the fast track to being an Olympian, and to the point where she was going to people all other people involved in the company, and no one was really no one was really hearing her at all.
Yeah. And
she started cutting herself, mm-hmm. and to the point where she called one and she was proud and didn't want to call home, and she wanted to train, and she wanted to be she wanted to be there because that was kind of the place to be for the elite. And to the point she just called home, was told him that let's get the fuck out of there. But she actually came out and made a public video and stance on it, and trying to correct it. I wonder if there's been any developments.
Yeah,
because it came out. When was that? About a month ago, I retweeted that.
Yeah, not too long ago. The craziest part about all this is that these aren't just random people. This is Nike.
Yeah,
this is one of the biggest sports corporation in the world, and that type of shit's going on with very high level athletes. But basically, what's happened? That guy obviously got fired. He won't be. He should go to jail personally, but he didn't go to jail.
Yeah, you can't really go to jail for any of the shit he did, I guess.
Yeah, but from hearing the story,
what's the development? They're revamping the entire program, right?
Yeah, and Mary's issue is that she thinks it'll just be rebranded, and the same people will be in charge who are underneath Alberto Salazar, and it'll just happen all over again. So, and she wants to see more women. Women in charge.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? 'Cause she was saying...
there's no way Nike doesn't come back with a 50-50 female to male staff.
Oh, yeah, they absolutely should.
If they don't,
She was saying that at this very high level sports camp that there were no professional nutritionists, there were no professional sports physicians. They were just fucking this dude Alberto and a bunch of his buddies just running this
Yeah,
thing.
no, they gave him free reign because he was widely regarded as the guy. So yo, hey, he's a little unorthodox, but this is the guy.
Yeah.
So
I thought that whole thing was just super fucked up.
This guy sucks.
This guy sucks.
I'll put the beats on Alberto if I see him.
He's gonna catch the hands.
If your name's Alberto, if you meet a guy named Alberto, turn around and run the other way.
It's me, Alberto. Wasn't that Bobby Boucher's dad's name?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, Roberto. It's
Roberto?
Roberto. Put the Bobby Boucher beat down on him if we see him. All right, let's go into our pee break.
Let's do it.
After that, we got a call.
All right, cool.
All right. We'll be right back with You Never Know, You Know What I Mean, right after this urination break. We gotta give a shout out to Mastermind CBD.
We do.
We were doing the muscle rub last episode. Now I want to give a shout out to the vape pens that they got. A lot of people vape tobacco, which I think is kind of whack, and some people vape weed, which is a little too intense for me.
Yeah.
Vaping CBD makes me really calm, and I kind of like it. I like it a lot.
Tobacco's trash. I mean, the fucking jewels and shit, that shit's trash, man.
I know.
So, yeah, try these. Fuckers should try these. This fucking muscle rub is fire, though. It's the only one I really use, because I obviously smoke weed a lot. But this shit's fire. Did we tweet out and shit a link yet for this kind of stuff? Because I'd said it in the last episode.
Yeah, so in a couple weeks, we're going to have our own code, so you guys can type in our code.
Let's wait on that then.
So right now, we're just spreading the good, juicy word of Mastermind Bio Wellness.
Yeah, and your boy Steve's in on the company, so fucking buy some, all right?
It's a part of us, like chlamydia.
Sheesh.
Who said that? Who
Do
said
you have
that?
chlamydia?
No, not
I
anymore.
hope not. I feel like I hope I'd know if you had chlamydia.
I'm gonna name my daughter Chlamydia.
Do you think, how many people have chlamydia and never tell anyone? Or obviously because it's temporary, correct? I've never had an STD. I know that's probably hard for a lot of people to believe, but I've never had one. Not even scared.
I don't know the answer to that. I know that chlamydia doesn't show symptoms a lot, especially for dudes.
Yeah.
So there could be just a lot of dudes roaming around with chlamyds. I don't know.
My point is, if anyone in the house had an STD, like, we'd fucking tell everyone ASAP, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
It's like not something you could like hide. It's just like something you got to share with your buddies, kind of, right?
Yeah, unless it's HIV, that's a little more complicated. When you get checked, you get tested for STDs and HIV, and at the clinic they like tell you the HIV results like 10 minutes after the test. So you have to sit in the waiting room. And for when I take the test, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, I go to the LGBT center, which is in the gay community. And I'm sitting in like a waiting room with techno playing and dudes making out next to me. and I got to wait 10 minutes, which seems like a fucking
10 hours.
Seems like a decade to see if I have HIV or not. I know I don't have it, but it's like,
yeah, dude. I'll leave his name out of it. But one of our good buddies had a girl hit him, be like, so there's a language barrier. She was like Russian or something. We met her in Vegas, and they had a great time, and she texts him like a little, I don't even know how long later, it was just like in broken English, like said she had something. I didn't know if she said AIDS or something. She's like, I have a scare with AIDS or something.
Christ.
And he's like, oh my God. Like, dude, we were in the fucking trenches. Like, I was fucking rattled.
It's the call.
So then I go with him. This is my point. I had no, like, to get AIDS, it's got to be like gay sex, right? That's like the main.
Yeah, it's like
the main way.
Freddie Mercury of Queen died just because of just banging dudes in the butt.
Yeah, that's like the main way. And then sharing needles. Like, I'm not doing either of those.
Yeah, it's a blood disease.
So I feel okay.
Blood. Yeah.
I feel okay about my chances. Yeah. I get there and I'll go with him because he didn't want to go alone.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it, I'll get tested. And I was fucking, like, I went from 0%, and just in that time where I waited for the answer, like, somehow I had gotten very nervous.
You're like, am I going to die?
I was like, do I have AIDS? Like, you know what I mean? And then guy comes out and gives me a big green light, and I said, let me get out of here, guys. And our friend was free and clear.
That's good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So just to make a sharp pivot, we have a caller. we have a caller. We're going to open up the Steve Hotlines.
A sharp pivot. Oh, man.
We have our buddy Brandon calling in. I'm going to put him on speaker. He's calling right now.
Right.
Brandon.
Stevie.
Hey, it's John Kilmer. Are you on the air?
Nice to see you, John. Nice to talk to you.
It's great. So I'm going to hand the phone over to Papa Steve over here, and I know you told me your story, but I'd love for you to tell all of us and all of our listeners your story. I think it's very inspiring, and I'm going to hand over the phone to Mike right now, and he'll talk to you 1 second.
Cool, thank you.
Steve-O.
Papa Steve, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy? What's going on?
Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. Where you at?
I'm in Clearfield, Pennsylvania right now, a real small town outside of State College.
Okay, dope. So where are you? I saw Kilmer he gave me like a brief little nutshell of your message and what was going on. I saw the rings. What school do you go to?
So I go to Penn State Du Bois. It's just a real small school, like 570 students. It's
Wow.
This little branch campus of Penn State.
Wow, fire! So I saw those rings. It looked similar to Duke. I was like, oh, that looks like the Duke D almost. Close.
Yeah, we a real small startup program. This is our 5th year as a program, and
You
already
got-
won 2 national titles.
You guys are getting those dubs, getting those rings.
Absolutely.
That's what's
we're
up.
Penn State Du Bois. That's what we call it. We're Dub City.
That's what's up. Hell yeah. Well, shout out y'all. So just give me a nutshell kind of what's been going on and where you're at.
Yeah, man. So, like I said to John, this is like way bigger than me. Like you always say, it's way bigger than everything else. And when I heard the last podcast and the girl called in, man, it kind of gave me. It was like, wow, I kind of want to share my story, and I called John or DM John, just never expecting anything back. But when he sent me something back, it was so crazy. But
Yeah, you never know.
And in high school, man, I've had chronic anxiety, my entire life, which I've dealt with, which led to depression and all that stuff. And it was kind of shameful at first, and you don't want to get help. It's just kind of tough.
Right.
And this is in my senior year. One of my good friends takes his own life, and it's kind of like a slap in the face where it was like, whoa, like you need to get yourself in order here.
Right.
And this is right in the middle of like my recruiting and stuff like that, and that just was like, whoa, this is crazy. This is like real life right now. And so just seeing how that impacted our community around here, just a small town, was crazy to me, and that really started me off on getting help, and which I finally did. And then
What did you when you say get help? What did you start with, or what did you do? Was it like watching and reading stuff yourself, or did you go see a doctor or therapist?
Yeah, it was just admitting that there was an issue.
Yes.
And going to see a therapist. And, and once I did, just having them talk me through, like, hey, this is an issue that a lot of people have, and it's something to be shameful of.
Yeah.
And then once I realized that, it was like, okay, now let's listen to you. And it's like, you never know what's gonna happen. And like, if you would have told me 5 years ago, like, I'm gonna get ready to graduate, I'm in my 3rd university, I'm getting ready to graduate with a Penn State degree, and I'm getting a minor in counseling, and I'm going to go help people out for the rest of my life.
That's really dope.
It's crazy because that's just so true. And,
and
like I said, I wanted to have him let you know that just your words are inspiring people around the world, like, and you're not even intentionally doing that. So.
Oh man, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, no, this is this is awesome. That's great to hear. I mean, there's an interesting thing here. Like, if you look at life and kind of what I'm trying to say to people is like those hard times that you went through inspired probably like the next phase of your life. Sounds like you're gonna, you want to go counsel and you want to help other people and feel like that's kind of a purpose. And that wouldn't have happened if you didn't kind of go through that yourself. So it's kind of like serving that point of just like you take everything that happens, good and bad, and you kind of use it to serve you. Steve, keep it down over there. Steve's turning up on the neighbors. No, Steve, no. Sorry.
You're good.
But yeah, that's kind of exactly what I'm talking about. Just like transmuting something negative into something positive, and it's dope. There's actually one other point too. Like, I don't know if you heard, have you been listening for a long time? Are you a long time listener of my music, or is it fairly recent?
Yeah, I've been listening to you since I was probably going into my 10th grade year. So
okay, yeah.
7 years.
So there was a song, Past Gone, I made about a fan that I had met
Yes.
who is suicidal and very
100%.
very depressed. Dude, she's doing the same thing. She's I'm gonna get her on the podcast soon, but she's got a degree in counseling and had very much so into wants to be a psychiatrist and just counsel people that have dealt with the same things. Even that song that I made, like it started that kind of as a way of her helping herself. It helped her cope she would get all these messages on her blog because her blog was called Pass Gone. It was like passgone.tumblr or whatever. So a lot of people started reaching out via that blog from the song, and through that she realized like, hey, this makes me feel really good to connect with other people, and she found herself giving advice even though she was struggling, you know what I mean? And it kind of made it all make sense that like, hey, this is what I want to do, so it's really dope to hear you you had a similar experience more or less, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's so cool because like when I first transferred, it was like I transferred, my baseball career was over, and like our baseball team right now, like it's such a family, and our coach, he's accepting of everybody, and he brought me in, and it's like now I'm one of his sons, and
that's dope.
For
That's
3.5 years, we've been building this tradition here, and it's just I've come to realize where like my story, like I wasn't to that point, but just letting somebody know that they can talk about it is changing people's lives, because I just wish some other people could have talked about it. It could have saved lives. So.
Right, that's awesome. That's a great point. It's a great point. Anyone listening, I have a buddy, a very close friend that it's not necessarily the same exact sphere. Like it's not anxiety or it's not depression, but it's severe anxiety and some addiction or just some issues surrounding substance abuse and having trouble getting over the hurdle of like going and taking the leap to like go see a doctor or go speak to somebody who knows more about this. Because I know, like, that's been my main piece of advice is just like go, because I know I can imagine like being able to communicate it, and then like you said, as soon as you realize that like it's not something to be ashamed of because so many people deal with it, it gives you like it's a gateway to getting better, So it's really that first step. It's that first step.
100%.
Yes, sir.
Just real quick, I know this is not what this is about at all.
That's all good.
Keep going, and that's the name of the next album, man.
Yes, sir.
That I was ready to hang them up, go do the counseling thing, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, why not keep going?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have the 95 in my arm, but I'm gonna go out and try out in a couple independent league teams.
That's fire,
June,
bro.
so
That's fire.
just because I'm not saying it's 100% because of you, but your music just resonates with me so much, and half our baseball team uses you as walk-up songs.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, thank you guys, man. You guys got to send me send me a jersey. I want one from the team. What is it again? Pence? Can you pronounce it for me one more time?
Penn State Du Bois.
Du Bois. All right, yeah.
Yes, sir.
We need some Du Bois gear over here. Let's go.
Give me the address and I'll send
We
you
could
my
do
jersey
it. We
from
could do it.
here out.
We could do a trade. I'll send you some Stevenson Ranch merch.
Absolutely.
All right.
That'd be cool.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you calling in, bro. It's definitely gonna help people.
Thank you so much for letting me on.
For sure, it will help tons of people just hearing more and more stories that they can connect with, and that's kind of the whole point of this, just to share the platform for, and like you said, as soon as once they start, 3 or 4 or 5 episodes go by and people realize like, hey man, this is pretty common, it might really help people get over the hump and start getting help.
Absolutely.
All right, Steve-O. So stay in touch with Kilmer. We'll send you out some merch, and you got. I need a jersey though.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come on.
Of course, man.
Thanks a lot.
Keep
Thanks,
keep going, buddy.
Absolutely. You ready?
You ready? Later, bro. Yeah, that's dope.
What a story, huh?
Yeah, that's fire.
Send it to the P.O. box so they're not giving out the house address.
P.O. Box? Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Steve, every time we get a fucking phone call, you cause a ruckus.
Steve, what did you do?
What did you do, Mr. Steve? What did you do, Mr. Steve? What did you do, Mr. Steve?
You can text it to me. Well, that was a great story.
Yeah.
That was really good. Reminds me that we're still doing some good in this world. And,
we're trying.
Before we sign off, just another quick shout out to our contest that we're doing with Bravo Pay.
Yeah.
We've talked about in past episodes. It's in the commercial before every episode that we have. But we are doing a contest where you can win a free trip, you and a friend, to come right here to the Stevenson Ranch. Mm-hmm. Listen to Mike's new music, go on walks with Steve, get
your ass kicked in beer pong and ping pong, whatever you'd like.
I didn't say that. He said that. And you can come be on the podcast. All you got to do is sign up with the Bravo Tipper Pay app, which is in the App Store. And when signing up, you just got to use the promo code MS23. And that's it. We're going to pick a winner in a couple weeks. And
yeah, y'all are going to hear that. You're going to hear that first. You're going to first sneak peek of the Mike records.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
You might have to stay for like 8 days to hear all of them. There's a lot of Mike records.
Yeah, we're getting really close. I know everyone's like, what the fuck's going on with music? This guy's a full-time podcaster now. What happened?
Mike's up in the studio at 8 a.m. working 7 hours straight, and he's like, hey, I just made my 147th demo for the new album. You got to come hear it.
You're overselling it, but yes. We actually have, honestly, over the past, so right now, like, yeah, we got like 35 ideas we love, and that's a current number. Like,
and they're all great.
They're right and they're right in the vein. So like, we're getting really close. I can't fucking disclose shit right. We're just really close. We're getting. I think we're gonna be top of the new year. We'll be ready to start rocking and rolling. But it's just some business that's getting worked out and shit. But I know everyone listening is kind of pretty aware at this point that getting ready to go for it, level up a little bit, and I'm just super excited about the music. This is the kind of music I've been wanting to make for a long time. So I'm ready.
We're all excited.
Ready?
We're all extremely hard. I'm still horny. So don't be a dingus. Sign up for the Bravo app. It only takes a few seconds. And when you're signing up, use code MS23. And you could win a frickin' chance to be on this podcast and listen to the new Mike music.
Frickin', huh?
Frickin'. I don't like saying fuck anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Frickin' is terrible to me.
Frick.
I hope you never say it again.
Go frick yourself.
Hey, go frick yourself, man.
I'm such a hardo. All right. Well, we're signing off.
All right, we love it.
We love you guys.